Hello, everyone. Welcome to FND POD, which apparently now stands for Films Need Discussing, or Film and
It can be whatever you want.
It can be. It's our good friend Wood pointed out that, hey, you know, maybe it stands for that, so you guys don't need to rename this thing.
Yeah. FND Pod will live strong. I think it still works.
Okay, this is episode 73.
73, and
All right, Aaron.
before we dive in, hold on.
Pun intended.
But it's just
Because I got one too. I gotta
boy.
go. You go first.
I was just gonna say, how was your day?
Oh, it's fine, man. It's good. Just it's good.
Good.
Yeah, all things considered. In my little corner of the world, things are fine.
Did you guys get hit by
A tsunami?
Yeah.
The earthquake? No. I mean, no. We're not. Also, did it hit? Did the wave make landfall yet?
I think last I heard was that the U.S. was relatively safe. Like it was.
How was Hawaii? What about Hawaii though?
I don't know, but Michael was there, and I think he was like missed our meeting this morning at work because he like had to take cover somewhere. I don't know if it did any damage. I think it might have just flooded beaches, but
Tsunami waves reach Hawaii, California after. It doesn't seem.
I don't think it was like damaging.
The
very
headlines
damaging.
all seem tame.
But other countries might have got a little more. But I'm glad you're safe.
What about did anything happen in Ohio from the earthquake?
No, surprisingly, I know that's the thought is that like Lake Erie might erupt or something.
It could, absorb. I don't know how.
It might come over from the Arctic and trickle down. Mm-hmm. But no, nothing.
I'm not an expert with fluid dynamics and geography, but maybe I don't know. That's why I'm asking. I just want to make sure you seem fine. You seem dry.
I'm okay. I'm dry. Yeah,
You're dry, but Aaron, this movie we're about to get wet,
we are.
and I mean that. All right, can I lay out a scenario for you?
Please.
Okay, this is gonna be indulge me here.
Okay.
All right. You're 14 years old, and it's 4th of July weekend, 1975. So neighborhood kids are setting off firecrackers, and it's triggered your father's PTSD as he has just returned home from Vietnam. You decide it's a good time to leave the house. You walk to a gas station to buy candy, and gas is a whopping 70 cents a gallon due to the Arab nation's 1973 oil embargo to punish the United States for giving arms to Israel during the Yom Kippur War. Gerald Ford's administration didn't think this would happen, but boy, were they wrong. You approach the counter and notice there's a tabloid paper that is still talking about the Easter Sunday massacre when James Rupert shot and killed 11 of his family members. This world is going to hell, you say to the attendant as you slap 10 cents on the counter to pay for your Laffy Taffy. You leave the gas station, and as the problems of home life and the world loom overhead, one of these nights by the Eagles blasts from a gold Oldsmobile Cutlass parked outside of a Chi-Chi's, a new Tex-Mex chain that just opened in your town. I gotta try that place, you tell yourself. You keep walking until you see the glow of a marquee with 4 big black letters, J-A-W-S. Everyone won't shut up about this film, so you decide it might be worth watching if it can, pun intended, drown out the noise in your head for the next 2 hours. Sometime later, you leave the theater. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking, Mom, Dad, that was one of the coolest movies I've ever seen.
Get him a gun! Get him a gun!
Oh,
We gotta get out
sorry,
there and
Dad.
defend the
Sorry,
house.
Dad. No, I didn't mean to trigger anything. Dad, it's a movie. It was just a movie.
Your father's still. He's got missing. We're not sure. Your father's digging a foxhole in the backyard at this point, and your mother's crying.
So,
but actually, your
neither
mother's.
of them partook in the movie. They could have.
No. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I had a story before your mom. You stole money out of your mom's purse. Anyway,
There was a whole side story?
What?
There was a whole side story that we didn't get into?
I I wrote this last night. So yeah, I just wanted to also for the listeners kind of illustrate the tapestry of America at the time.
Yeah.
When this film came out, what was going on? I find that stuff interesting. What's happening when these historic films come out? Like what was going on in the country, in the world?
That was good. I feel like I was in the moment. I was like I was living it.
Yeah, I mean, you could fact check a lot of that place. I mean, I had to Google what restaurants were open in 1975, and it was Chi-Chi's and I believe Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
Okay, well, I believe you.
Yeah.
Well, look, guys, if it wasn't evident we're doing Jaws, and there's a special reason. Not only is it a great film, but it's the 50th year anniversary of Jaws.
Wow.
1975.
Wow. June 20th, I believe it premiered.
Jeez. And, this is also a departure on our end from doing new releases. Vin and I have been talking about, like, man, maybe we should dig into some oldies or some more obscure films. So we're going to test the waters here and take a dip into a classic directed by Steven Spielberg. And guys, I don't feel like I should have to say no spoilers because this film is 50 years old. But if you haven't seen Jaws, I'm going to put on my snob film hat and say,
Dude,
go watch the movie.
dude,
Yeah.
this watching it for the podcast was the first time I sat through the whole thing.
I was going to text you. I was literally going to text you and be like, have you seen, because I thought you might have. You hadn't seen it.
Not all the way through.
Okay, so
It's one of those films it was by the time we were alive, it was, in pop culture, probably played on TNT here and there during Shark
so
Week.
you
And it just, I would catch it, but never sit down through the whole thing. It was never a movie where, my parents sat me down and said, "This when we're going to watch Jaws tonight."
Right.
They didn't really do that with anything, So, yeah, spoilers.
Spoilers.
When Quint dies, I was like, "What?"
Oh, you didn't know that?
I didn't know he died.
Oh man, I love that. This just made this episode so much more fun.
I didn't know. I thought, oh, he'll get out of this. He's Quint. He survived the Indianapolis. And then when he's in the shark, as soon as he goes in the shark's mouth, part of me's like, he's gonna get out of this, right? And then the thing starts thrashing him around, and he's screaming, and blood's coming out of his mouth. And then I go, well, I didn't see that coming.
Goner.
Yeah.
Okay, so anybody who's like Vin and has waited their whole lives, and not seen the film, we'll tee it up, okay? Because Vin, you had a good blurb on here. I want to tee up what Jaws is about. Because originally Jaws was a novel, and then they turned it into a movie. We'll get into that. But the general premise is a seaside town is terrorized by a great white shark. When local authorities downplay the threat to preserve summer tourism, it's up to a police chief, a marine biologist, and a grizzled shark hunter to take the battle offshore. So, let's get into...
What can we really say about this film that hasn't been said already?
I know. I thought about that too, but there's the thing about this movie that's, even though it's probably been historically documented and talked to death, is there's so much cool shit to it. I think that a lot of what we're going to be talking about, there's still stuff that people didn't know. Even recently, I want to shout out a book called The Jaws Log.
Yeah.
For anybody who is not familiar, it was written by the screenwriter, one of the screenwriters of Jaws, Carl
Gottlieb.
Gottlieb.
Yeah.
And he basically documents the whole process of making the movie. And it's fascinating, like what they went through to get this thing made. Not many people probably know that it was kind of...
Aaron, did you know the shark kept breaking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I learned it from the book.
The shark, it wouldn't...
It wouldn't shark.
No, it wouldn't. It kind of had like a loose jaw. It had sometimes it would Billy Bob Bass. What was the bass that would go on the wall?
Oh yeah, the Billy. Was it Billy Bass?
Billy Bass. Sometimes it would just Billy Bass for an hour. Sometimes the whole body would undulate like this. Sometimes it would do this.
Well, this is another inside scoop that you're getting just here on FND Pod, is that the shark was in fact a mechanical shark. Now they did in the movie, they did have a real shark. They, I believe, flew a B-cam unit to Australia, and they put a guy in a cage, and they got...
Dude, that was wild. I didn't know that. The little man they used?
Yeah.
That was crazy, because that guy almost died doing that.
Yes. They used a little man, and...
by the way, he didn't look like he had dwarfism. He looked like he was...
No, I think he was just small in stature.
But he looked even smaller than a jockey. He looked like he was a special kind of small.
I don't know if I ever saw pictures of him. But they did it, obviously, for the size compare. They wanted to exaggerate the size difference between this humongous dangerous monster shark and then the guy in the cage. So yeah, they shot some real shark footage in Australia, and they in a technique in film known as editing, they intercut it with shots of the mechanical shark.
Yeah.
Did you know they could do that, Vin?
I'm aware. I know the word montage is French, I believe, for edit.
They spliced film strips together,
And they would
then
tape
there you
them.
have
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, no, that was crazy. They got this. So they actually made. So they made a little suit. They made little air tanks too, and they realized, oh, we only gave this guy 8 minutes of air. And
Oops.
so they dunk him in the water with a real shark, and then the shark's head gets caught in something, and it just thrashes the cage.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, the guy was like reluctant to get in. He was scared to get in, and had he got
yeah.
in,
For some reason,
had he been in there, he would.
shark.
Yeah, he would have died. The film almost claimed to life.
Yeah, the Jaws is notorious for a lot of reasons. Obviously, as being like known as the first, I think,
Summer
considered
blockbuster.
like the first summer blockbuster, right? This kind of like
Yeah.
changed how Hollywood released movies. Like kind of campaign,
Jaws
like put a
put up
huge
numbers.
marketing campaign around it and released it in the summer months. Was made for $14 million. I see you have here was supposed to be 4, which
I believe
I knew
so.
it was. I knew that the budget blew up, but I didn't know by what amount.
That
So
could be wrong. I don't know. That was from one YouTube video. I watched a few YouTube videos, but that was from one of them.
That's pretty. I mean, if that's true, and they went $10 million over budget, that's insane.
They were supposed to go for something like 60 shooting days. It went like 125, or I don't know what it was, like over 100 shooting days. Mm-hmm. Because this was also the first film that, I mean, it's kind of crazy. It was Steven Spielberg's, I think, first film of this size. Well, it was Adventures in Sugarland, The Adventures of
Well,
Harvey
he was
Sugar.
just coming off. Are you talking
Sting.
about Spielberg? Was just coming off a Duel, the film about the semi truck.
No, actually, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and so the producers, Zucker, what were their names? We don't have them here. Zucker Brown, I believe. Zucker and Brown. They were on the search for a director. They met with Spielberg, I believe, in Paris, and discussed the project with him. Because the book, the way it happened was like the book was coming out, and the studio wanted to have the movie release as the book was getting, there was a lot of buzz around the book. It's like, oh, this book is going to do really well. And like, what better way to have this movie teed up so that when the hype around the book explodes, people go right to the theater. So that was the idea. So they were kind of on this crunch timeline to get the movie made. So they met Spielberg, they got him attached, soon followed everybody else, and then came other important tasks like finding where they were going to shoot it. That was a whole thing. They eventually landed on Martha's Vineyard. And then came the real fun stuff like crafting the shark.
They got what was the guy's name? I have it written down. He did the monster he did the squid in 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Robert Matty.
Oh yeah.
Who was apparently just a real fun, sweet guy to work with. He was one of those guys where he'd always saw the bright side in things. He just kind of was. It sounded like he was a very positive presence on set, which was good. If that's the guy constantly working with the thing that's breaking, and he's the source. His work is the source of frustration for everybody on the shoot, and he's just, hey, we're doing the best we can, man. He also wasn't given a lot of time. I think he requested something like 3 to 6 months to like work the bugs out, but
And they're like, nah.
They had to. I think they started shooting. They didn't really have a lot in place when they started shooting.
Yeah, no, I believe they were shooting even while it was being made. It was crunch time for sure. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the iconic John Williams did the score for this. I mean, like, arguably one of the most well-known or iconic scores. Dun, dun. We all know that one very well. And then edited by Verna Fields, who in the book.
Oh, and apparently Steven Spielberg was like, when John Williams showed him, Steven Spielberg was like, "That's it."
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
So that's the theme, and he goes, "Yeah, I don't know, it's simple, plays on people's that's the score and the fact that the shark kept breaking, which made them find creative ways to imply terror and have the audience use their imagination. It really, that's what made the film. That was one of the things that made the film so timeless, is how the music and the lack of seeing things made it just tapped into people's imagination and primal fears.
Oh yeah, I mean, because when the presence of it being there, they did a lot of really smart things in the movie, like the scene when the dock breaks when the shark is going after the two guys, and then it goes out, and then the dock swings back and starts coming. It's like you don't need to see the shark, but all that just to indicate the presence was like, it was iconic at the time and still lives on. I think very well done. Okay, before we dig any deeper, I especially want to know, what do you think, dude? What do you think?
Dude, it has some Act 3. I had some Act 3 problems, but no, I mean, dude, that's why I'm like, what are we gonna really say about it that hasn't been said a million times? It's an amazing film. I'm actually, hold on, let me think. Let me actually try to like say something about it that it
doesn't need to be something that hasn't been said before. Just say what you thought about it.
It's entertaining from front to back.
Yeah.
It's a fun. It looks amazing. Steven Spielberg somehow pulls this magical, real charm out of everybody. But also, he's one of these people that when he engages in a creative project, he has these things kind of swirl around him and happen, and things come together. Like even simple things that aren't even always his doing. For example, one scene, Roy Scheider, who plays Chief Martin Brody.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, there's a scene, he's sitting at home after a long day. I think this is after that boy got eaten. I don't remember when exactly it happens. He's sitting at the table with his son, and he's like doing things with his hands, and then the kid is like mirroring him. The actor was just doing that with the kid. They were just doing that while no one was rolling. And he goes, "Steven, come here, come watch this." And then he starts doing it, and the kids that are playing their little game, and Steven's like, "All right, let's get that." And then they just shot that.
Yeah, so I think Spielberg's always had like
a way with children.
A way with children. I mean, to put it, yeah. I mean, even if you look at E.T.,
was he on the plane?
He just he knows how to pull those performances out that feel like really genuine, which can obviously be really difficult with kids that are not seasoned actors. But Spielberg delivers in spades. I mean, this rewatching it too, I was like, man, everything about it is so strong and confident for a director that this is, he had been doing, I believe, TV. He cut his teeth on, TV episodes, and then he had another feature or two under his belt. But like the confidence in his choices, even when like Martin Brody is like sitting on the beach, and you have him being psyched out by all the noises, all the people, playing. Mm-hmm. The camera work, like when people are passing in front of the frame and it's like cutting closer to him, and then you have the classic like Zolly, when the kid gets eaten. Like it's just so, the filmmaking is so confident. It's like he knows what he's trying to do, and it works. It's not just like cutaway shot, like we see so much of today, which is like directors basically being like, I just want to get coverage. It's like Spielberg is known for like, I want the camera's going to be part of the story.
Right.
And I think that's why it's so timeless, is like even you watch now and it just feels like there's purpose behind everything that he was doing.
Little detail. Spielberg doesn't waste an ounce of film.
You don't waste a frame of my celluloid.
I'm counting too. I'm weighing it. You know how they weigh liquor at bars, the real stingy ones? I'm weighing the celluloid, and everything's gonna get used. Yeah,
and everything you waste of mine, I'm gonna dock your pay.
Do you know did you know, Aaron, that the shot of the I think it's Ben Gardner is the fisherman who goes missing, and then Hooper's checking out the boat, and then the head pops out.
Yeah.
Which got me, by the way, because again, I didn't see it coming.
Gotcha.
That was a pickup shot they just did in the editor's pool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they did that and then I think Steven even said that they did test screenings, and I think he moved that around because the first scare, there was something about the audience reaction, because there's like two. I think it's like the first time you see the shark when Brody's chumming the water and the shark just like pops up.
Yep.
There's that is when you see it. There's also when the boy gets eaten, you kind of see it, but when it actually pops up is like the first time you see it when Brody's chumming the water, and then there's the head popping through, and those are like the three. I think those get the three biggest reactions from the audience. But he did test screenings and kind of played with where those went depending on how the audience reacted. So test screenings are important, I guess.
Did you catch the shooting stars?
I did. I looked into those. Apparently, they're fake.
Yeah, yeah. But I believe did they claim at the time that they were real, right? For anybody who hasn't seen it, there's I think one or two instances in the film where there's like very clear star, like it's not even just like a starry night. It's like a singular star that like flies across the screen. If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it happens in a shot.
It's like when Chief Brody's like loading his gun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hooper's behind him, and you see the shooting star, and then there's a wide shot of the boat, and you see it again, and so there's no way they caught two. Also, They were shooting day for night, so there you wouldn't if the camera wasn't set to expose wasn't set to expose a shooting star, because the time of day they were shooting it and the f-stop it would have been placed at. And some people were saying that Steven Spielberg put that in because that was this next film was Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yeah, maybe he was teeing it up.
And Steven Spielberg also says that he has a very formative memory as a child. His father took him out late one night, and he said, "I'm going to buy a pack of smokes. I'll be right back." Just kidding. He took him to a field where a bunch of people there was a meteor shower.
Oh, hell yeah.
Took him out, saw a meteor shower as a small child, and left an impression on his tiny little filmmaking brain.
And that's how we got E.T., Close Encounters.
So we got,
let's see, we got War of the Worlds. What other sci-fi space
stuff? Dude, I forgot he did Minority Report.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I mean, we could do actually, I think what we should do is we should dedicate a whole episode to Spielberg. Any director, I mean, Wes, we kind of dived into the other ones. There's a lot more I want to say about Jaws, but like Spielberg, I mean, he's
Spiegelberg.
He's the guy for a reason. But anybody who hasn't seen Minority Report, dude, can we add that to the list? I would love to do an episode on that film. You know,
I thought we probably won't do this, but I thought what would be fun. Have you heard of a film called Sorcerer?
No.
It's supposed to be really good. Roy Scheider's in it.
Okay.
And I don't know. I thought it'd be funny if we do a thread of films.
Well, how do you mean?
I mean, so we saw a film with Roy Scheider in it. So now
you mean like go down that?
And then we find any little detail. It doesn't have to be the actor.
It's like the Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, it could have been the editor. It could be anything from that film to leapfrog onto the next one, and that's how we choose. And then we start every episode going, okay, this, and then it goes back. And by the time we've done 100 episodes, the beginning of the podcast will be 10 minutes of us describing the lineage of films.
That's fun. All right, well, let's add it to the list.
Okay. Okay. What else about Jaws?
So I wanted to talk a little bit about the differences. So not only was this book, The Jaws Log, like really good. So anybody who likes the film should definitely check it out because it's very cool to hear about how the movie was made. But they talk about what was the differences from the novel. Mm-hmm. So the novel had a bunch of like subplots that were not incorporated in, which I think most people would argue is probably for the better. It just kind of makes things clean. But among the differences, two things. One, the mayor of Amity had mafia connections.
Which is why he was pushing so hard for not to close the beach. And also, more of the town's economic workings are described in the book. Peter Benchley wanted to give the reader a better idea of emphasize that more.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And then secondly, Chief Brody's wife, Ellen, and Matt Hooper, the oceanographer, have an affair in the book.
Yeah,
and that creates a lot of tension when they're trying to kill the shark between Brody and Hooper.
What's more is the reason there's a detail left out of this, but in the book in the past, Brody's wife had a relationship with Hooper's older brother. And so her having an affair with Hooper is sort of, she's like reliving this thing.
All right, well, look, I wanted to save it till we were recording to break this to you, Vin, but this is breaking exclusive to FND Pod news. I've obtained a deleted scene, a screenplay of a deleted scene from Jaws that was source material from the book. I've sent it to you, and I think we should do a read-through of it.
What? This is a surprise.
Yes, I know. I didn't look. This was so big. I wanted to catch your reaction.
Is this real? I feel like you're making.
I wanted to catch your reaction live, so that way we can read through it. I'm going to play.
I feel like you're making. I feel like whatever I'm about to read, you're making this up.
I'm gonna read the sides. You'll read. Why don't you take Matt Hooper? Okay.
I'll be Hooper. You're gonna read the sides and everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
This is a deleted scene.
This is a deleted scene. This never even was filmed, but this was brought over from the script when they were trying to.
Where'd you get this? How'd you source this?
I have some connections. Okay. So
I'm excited to read this. Let's go.
Interior, Brody household, night. Martin Brody is seated at his dinner table with his son, Sean. They stare at each other in silence. Martin briefly fantasizes about throwing Sean into the mouth of a great white shark. Knock, knock. Martin's wife, Ellen, calls out from the other room.
I'll get it. Oh, wait, no, sorry. I'm Hooper.
Yeah. I can be Ellen.
Okay.
I'll get it. Off screen, we hear Ellen answer the door. It's Matt Hooper with 2 bottles of wine. Oh, hello. You must be...
Matt Hooper, oceanographer. And you must be a mirage because I've never seen such a stunning land mammal.
Stop. Martin's this way. Ellen and Matt enter the dining room.
Hello, Martin.
Please, sit down. Ellen takes Matt's wine and pours them each a glass.
Thank you, Ellen. You're the best. The best.
This is serious, dude. What are we going to do about this shark? There's going to be chaos and amity if somebody else gets eaten. Calm down, Martin. Things will work out. Let's just enjoy our company and have a drink. Ellen pours her wine all the way to the glass brim. So, Mr. Hooper, you're an oceanographer? That must take big brains.
Big brains, but even bigger balls.
Oh, my.
In my balls, I mean testicles.
What's going on here? Can we concentrate on the shark?
Who cares about the shark? I want to study the brown starfish. I'm sorry. Let me read that again. Who cares about the shark? I want to study the brown starfish.
Oh, marine biology innuendos are my kink. Matt grabs Ellen and they slam onto the dinner table, fiercely making out in front of Martin. What about the shark? The great white shark enters the room holding a pistol. Hey there, Marty. What the hell? How'd you find me? Hooper told me. Hooper stops kissing Ellen and smiles creepily at Martin.
The shark was never the job, Marty. You were.
No!
And then I'm assuming the shark just unloads the pistol. Now,
so you guys, there you have it.
I'm wondering where that would have.
Why.
I can understand why they didn't include that in the film. It sort of muddies the story up a little bit. I'm wondering like where that would have gone.
Who knows? But Spielberg, I think, was a little tightwad, and wanted to keep this at a PG rating. Which, if I'm being honest, dude, he already got full frontal nudity in the first 5 minutes. And he thought this was too crude.
Yeah, I was a little surprised. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, even there's a scene where the wife says, "Let's get drunk in 69." I think she says, "You want to get drunk in 69?"
Yeah. So, anyways, who knows where the story could have gone? I personally think because it's left open ended. I personally think the shark walked out. I think they ended things amicably. And the hunt went on, and I think you still tee up the third act. Things are resolved by Hooper and Brody, but we'll never really know what that version would have looked like.
And that's a shame, and it makes sense that this actually, and this is real. Well, this is real too, but this is real. Steven Spielberg. These characters seem closer to the book characters. Steven Spielberg did say that when he read the book, by the end of it, he was rooting for the shark. Because
really?
He felt the characters were very unsympathetic. Brody, I mean, the reason Ellen is having an affair is because Brody is an ass. He's a curmudgeonly, he was a beat cop, or he was a detective, a chief in New York forever how long. So I'm sure he was hardened by that, and he hates the water, so he's here and he's in a place he doesn't really want to be, I'm sure with a head full of bad memories.
Yeah.
So he was an ass. Hooper was very conceited. And Quint he didn't talk, the character of Quint, he just didn't talk so much.
Interesting. Did he have his whole monologue at the end? Do you know?
No. What's crazy about that monologue, dude, is, do you know anything about it?
Well, are you going to say that they had to redo it because the act was
Robert Shaw got wasted? Drunk? Yeah. So that they didn't really have that. It was Howard Sackler. Oh, let me make sure I have this. Oh my God, where's my thing? Howard Sackler, who wrote The Great White Hope, he came up with the idea for Quint's background. The USS Indianapolis, that was a classified mission because they did help deliver the bomb. So a lot of the American public didn't know about it. And a lot of people learned about it because of the film. A woman whose son died in that attack didn't know what happened to her son until she saw the movie.
For real?
Yes.
Whoa. Wait, so how'd they get it declassified?
It just eventually, through time, I don't know, these things take time. So I don't know in the chronology of filming when it happened, but they didn't have that backstory for Shaw. So Howard Sackler was a friend of, Spielberg. He comes up with this idea. He writes like a 10-page monologue that is just way too much to do. So a bunch of writers took a crack at it. This guy named John Milius, who wrote Conan the Barbarian and Red Dawn, he gets it down to like 5 pages. And then Robert Shaw takes it and then he cuts it down because he was a writer too. He was like nominated for a Pulitzer Prize. He had written plays. He wasn't just an actor. He was one of those hard drinking writers as well. So yeah, he cuts it down, and then as the story goes, he asks Steven Spielberg if he can have a couple of drinks before they shoot. He shows up wasted.
A couple too many, not able to.
Apparently, he calls Steven Spielberg that night and he says, "Did I embarrass you, Steven?" Like, he was really apologetic for as much of an asshole he was, because the whole thing about him and Dreyfuss.
I know that they had a big tiff on set, right? They were kind of going at each other.
Yeah, they very much mirrored their chemistry on screen was very much like real life.
Oh, it makes it all that much better.
And so. What was it?
So he calls him and he says, "Did I embarrass you?"
He did. Yes. So for as much of an asshole as he was on set, he was a really a well-meaning guy.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
do you know if he had alcohol abuse issues, or
yes, he was an alcoholic.
What I thought. That's
his
what
father
I thought,
was
but
an
I also
alcoholic.
wonder if was he like, oh, I'm trying to lean into the character who's obviously,
Nah, he was
has a drinking problem.
He was one of those classic British alcoholic actors. Which I'm that is a thing. There's I think Peter O'Toole. There's a couple other actors that were mentioned. Yeah, he had a drinking problem, and he was also. So do you want to talk about I'll say a couple things about the Dreyfuss Shaw feud. Was that they were just very different guys to begin with. Shaw was a classic stage actor. Also like a man's man type of, he put on this bravado. And Richard Dreyfuss, he was this up and coming star who was also very insecure. And so he masked it with like a bravado. And there's a story that Dreyfuss shows up on set with a New York Times paper that had a 2-page ad with glowing reviews about his performance in a film. And he brought that to set. And Robert Shaw was like, dude, no, this guy. Mm-hmm. He thought that was very low class and very conceited. So he would tease him. He would tell him, like, a guy your age drinking, which is funny coming from him, like drinking, eating all the time. I bet you couldn't do 20 push-ups. He would like challenge him to like physical contests. Apparently when Shaw would drink, he would get very competitive. He almost fought somebody because he lost a table tennis match.
Important note on that, which I think probably plays into their feud, is that we've already discussed how like the film was notorious for going over budget and overshooting schedule, but it was known that they had tons of downtime, especially during the water shoots where they were waiting on the mechanical shark. They would go out for whole days just waiting for the team to rig up the shark, only to learn like hours later that it wasn't ready or wasn't going to be passable for this, for the day. So, I mean, you would have crew and actors sitting around for hours and hours and hours, basically wasting their whole days on these boats, just waiting and then just being told like, nope, can't happen. And it happened constantly.
And Robert Shaw was just drinking the whole time. They would send PAs to go drink with him. Like that was a job. They would like, and they'd have to replace PAs because they couldn't keep up with them. Which is hilarious. They just like didn't want him drinking alone. So they would send people to go just get drunk with him. Oh. What a sick summer job that would have been.
Yeah, just a bit. I did want to talk about one other thing. The shark. Not the mechanical shark, but the real live shark.
Just like sharks in general?
Brought along...
You just want to talk about sharks?
Friend.
Whoa, dude, look at that, dude.
This is my friend, okay?
What's his name?
Bruce.
Or her name, sorry.
Bruce, which I believe Bruce was the name of the mechanical shark.
Bruce Raymer, named after Spielberg's lawyer.
Yeah. But I'm dedicating this guy to the shark. Do you know about this?
The actual shark?
Yes.
The first one they catch, that's a real shark?
In the film, the locals go out and they chum the water and they get this shark and they string it up and they're like, we got it, we got the killer, and then Richard Dreyfuss' character, Hooper, comes in and he's looking at it and he's like, I don't think he's measuring it. I don't think the bite is big enough, but he's not sure. Anyways, that scene, they had to find a real live shark. I'm not exactly 100% sure why. I forget why they didn't try to do a double. Maybe the guys who were doing the mechanical shark didn't have time, or they were worried it wasn't going to look real enough. But they found way far away,
Florida, I think,
a real shark. I believe it was killed for the film.
$10,000.
And they brought it back, and they used the decaying corpse of this shark for the scene. And it was so bad that they had to use makeup in the scene to like touch up like the shark to make it look like it wasn't basically rotting. And the smell was so awful that it was a big deal on set. Like a lot of the actors were complaining about how repugnant it was to shoot that scene, because they're basically staring down the mouth of a
rotting,
very dead and rotting shark.
A decaying sea animal.
Yeah. And I mean, ethically,
belly full of further rotted fish.
I think you could definitely question how ethical it is to do something like that for a film. It definitely would have been better off if it was just. Are
there shark hunting tags in those parts of the world? Like you get deer hunting tags to control the population.
Well, actually, I don't know. And I'm also not claiming like this was illegal or something. They might have gone through the legal ways to do it. I'm just saying, in general, I think it's sad when it comes down to that, when it's like, oh, this creature was killed and then like its body was flown.
But dude, it's part of a legacy now. A legacy that
if he could come back, think of what he would say.
A legacy.
I was in a Spielberg film. It was worth it.
A legacy that ironically would sort of upset Peter Benchley, because the film made people hate sharks.
Yeah.
And it's so much so that he dedicated a lot of his time afterwards to environmental conservationism and education, much like remember the guy who did Flipper. Mm-hmm. Yeah, similar story.
Yeah, it's interesting how the film, I mean, it's not like it's unexpected if you watch the film. I mean, they literally blow it up at the end with like compressed air and it explodes like a Hollywood, just, like in a grand finale, and in the whole time the movie it's basically makes it out to be like this vicious monster who's out for blood. And like I think also I've read that sharks are just very misunderstood creatures. Like there's a lot more to them that we don't understand.
Parents just don't understand.
But yeah, in that regard, set off when the movie came out. It set off this like this terror of
Shark
sharks,
hate.
of shark hate, yeah, and concern about them, and yeah, against the betterment of, like you said, the authors. So,
Did you know that the last shot when they blew the shark up, Spielberg wasn't there for it?
no, I didn't know that.
He left. He was like, I'm done with this.
What?
Yeah, no, I'm serious. He left. He was on the. I think he was. Roy Scheider's talking about it. He's on the plane with Roy Scheider, and Roy's like, he's like, what are they blowing up the shark? He's like, yeah, they're doing it right now. He's like, why aren't you there? And he said Steven Spielberg made like this, like he like made this like little smile, and now it's a tradition. Still, Spielberg doesn't do his last shot in all of his films.
Really?
Yeah, yeah, he bugs out on the last shot.
But wait, is just because that was like one of the last shots of the movie, did they shoot it like that was literally one of the last shots that they needed for the movie too?
I believe so. Yeah, I mean, because they had
wow.
had to be done with the shark after that. And I think they did that. They might have done that in No, they were, because I know they did pick up shots, I believe, in California.
Yeah, that was interesting to me because I thought the shark that they blow up was different, because I think the mechanical one that's in the water was made of like a metal framework and like
I know it was like
neoprene
there
or
was
something.
fiberglass in it. No, I think they had just the one.
They just had
Or maybe
one.
they had, no, because I remember seeing pictures of like multiples, but
Did they bring in the shark carcass, the decaying one, and they
yeah, and then blow that one up. It wouldn't have been big enough.
Oh,
You could have shot that thing with a handgun and it would have exploded. It would have been so brittle.
yeah. Did you see? I'm guessing not. I don't know why I'm asking. If you didn't see the first one, you probably didn't see the sequels.
I have not, but I'm very curious now.
Jaws 2. I have not either. But
They're
Don't
and
really-
3 and Jaws Revenge.
yeah, I don't really have interest. I gotta admit.
Yeah, there's enough stuff to watch.
Yeah.
There's enough other crap out there to
There's
watch.
plenty going around.
Couple other fun things about this film. The initial reception, Aaron, of course, as you know, people loved it, couldn't get enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
They had planned to release it, I believe, in some like 600 theaters, but Lou Wasserman, the president and CEO of, oh God, I sound like such a dummy right now.
Universal?
Yeah.
Universal?
Of Universal at the time, he's pulled it back. He said, nope, we're only releasing it in like 400 theaters. He wanted people to wait in line for it. He thought that would be better publicity for the film.
Interesting.
Yeah, he
Well,
he manufactured
that bottleneck.
it's scarcity.
create-
All right, what else about this film? I had some other like fun facts. Oh, I thought this would be fun. Okay, so the film obviously left its teeth marks in culture for a long time. Inspired a lot of copycats. If we were so let's say, all right, new scenario. It's 1976.
Mm-hmm.
You and I are two young writers. We've just moved to Hollywood, and we got hired by your dad's friend at his up and coming production company. They want to make a B film off the success of Jaws. We got to make our own.
Does the creature matter?
It's I mean, let's say we have to make. They want us to make a water-based creature feature.
A water-based creature feature.
I'm thinking, dude, right off the bat, I'm thinking jellyfish. I'm thinking jellies. Man of War are pretty terrifying. You know about
Jellyfish would be hard because jellyfish seem so peaceful. I know they could probably hurt like
Therein lies I don't know. Therein lies something, you know. Jellies, like the
Jellies.
jelly fear.
jellies. Piranhas has been done.
Yeah, Piranha was
Snapping
one of them.
turtles.
That was one of the knockoffs that came after.
How many do they have? They have a lot. I'm sure. That's interesting to think about. Just something that takes off. Have you ever been?
Well, there was, hold on, wait, really quick. There was Orca, which was 1977. There was Piranha, 1978. 1976 was Grizzly.
Oh wow! It really inspired just across the spectrum.
Yeah.
Just give us fierce
Cruel.
animals.
What is
that we're
Cruel
gonna-
Jaws? 1995. Have you heard of this film called Cruel Jaws?
No. Well, there you have it. A film, such a mega hit, so big in the cultural zeitgeist that it had to be copycatted by a ton of people, as is always the case. I mean, that stuff happens now. If you go and look at some like B movies, people have no shame either. People know exactly. They want you to know exactly what they are copying off
Ripping
of.
off.
You know, because like
Paying,
they'll design the
paying
movie poster.
homage to.
They'll design the movie poster so it looks almost identical. You know, they'll like use similar fonts and like the color scheme. I mean, I hate to say it, but it really seems like they're just trying to trick people. You know, nobody's like loving the original so much. They're like, I gotta see this knockoff. Although we probably would, but
No, people have no shame. I feel like, I don't know, I guess, if you're a producer, your mindset is like, the audiences are stupid. They just want more of the same crap. Go get out there and write me something right now. Yeah, I vote jellyfish. I vote jellyfish should be our water-based creature feature. And it would be, you'd start with coral reef diving. Mm-hmm. It'd be some college students who would be they're on summer vacation. No, they're studying abroad. They're studying abroad. Woo! And they're doing
studying.
But two of them, we'll rip the first scene exactly. Two of them are like, well, actually, let's say they're trying to do a gravity bong in the coral reef. We got this gravity bong, man. Mm-hmm. So they go to the coral reef, and then I guess like the jellies just come and get them. Like, I don't.
Hey, this is a B movie, man. What do you expect? All right, come on. Get them.
Is it one big jellyfish or is it a school of jellyfish?
Oh, you could start it so you think it's one big jellyfish, and that's like the scare. But then when they kill it, it unleashes. It has a bunch of mini jellyfish underneath it, and then it's like, oh my gosh, that was just like the mother. But then that sets up the sequel. So
yeah, the students, and then who are our three characters? Let's say we have three characters. There's going to be a professor. Mm-hmm. He's like your everyman. He's the chief Brody. He's your everyman.
Yep.
The professor who's there with the students. You're probably you're gonna have a scuba diver, a seasoned scuba diver who's like
I'll get you out there. I'm gonna show you around. I know all where the jellyfish live.
And he's like a grizzled hippie. Mm-hmm. He's sort of like a crust. Maybe he could be like a crust punk. I think would be like a fun.
Okay. He's
like a crust punk scuba diver, street kid scuba. He does scuba diving just to make cash here and there. And then you have maybe like a librarian who's.
Whoa.
Yeah. Well, it's a
like,
B film.
I'm not ready for this. Oh my gosh, what? We're doing what? We got to get in our swimsuits? I only pack my lingerie. That's okay. That'll
She's like,
fine.
She makes a bathing suit out of books.
Interesting.
She's like,
she's crafty.
I only have these books. And they're like, well, she makes her bathing suit out of the books.
And she's the only one that survives because she has knowledge.
She's final girl.
Yep.
Yeah. So they go out in the ocean. They come up with they have to come up with a way to. How do you kill a jellyfish?
Shoot it with a gun.
I guess yeah, you can.
Assassinate it.
A bazooka.
You shoot it with a rocket launcher.
Yeah, they take a rocket launcher out there.
That's messed up.
And they find it and they blow it up and I don't know.
Look, the movie writes itself at this point. It's so golden. All right.
Tits
so
at
anybody
some
wants
point
to greenlight this puppy,
yeah,
let us know. All right, dude. We teed up our next feature. We thoroughly covered Jaws. All the fun facts I hope anybody could want to know about it. But there's more. Check out the Jaws log. I think they just released a documentary, like a 50-year documentary on Jaws. So
didn't you have that book? Wait, don't you have that?
I did. I was trying to find it for the episode. I don't know where it is. I might have actually given it to somebody. Oh, you know what? I gave it to Cooper.
You did give it to Cooper.
I gave it to Cooper last week.
Oh man, get it back from him. He didn't even read it.
No, I think he did. Oh man, and we missed. Coop will be on the next episode.
Yeah.
But. Oh, Schwell.
What do we think? We were talking about maybe Happy Gilmore 2 for the next one.
I'm gonna watch it either way.
Yeah.
But yeah. And are we doing the next episode in person?
I guess we might be doing it. Yeah, because I'll be in Ohio.
Yeah. Finn's gonna be coming in for a trip that we're all having, so we're gonna try and maybe knock out TRL episode.
Hey y'all, thanks for listening. Subscribe. Join the Discord. Join our Discord link below. You get in on the discussion before we have it. Did anyone leave any comments? Hold on, wait. We did ask people. I asked people in the FND Pod lounge. Someone said we have one comment. Fun fact. This is from Brink. Fun fact: sharks are only found 2 places on Earth: the northern and southern hemispheres. And I said, be serious about this. And he said, I'm so super serial. And no, you're not.
Honestly,
Brink.
But he's not incorrect. So
it's true, but I see.
But we're gonna try and get a little more substantive.
So join the Discord. We'll post the film we're gonna watch next. Leave us your thoughts, your comms.
Do we want to talk about plans for the future, doing some like watch parties and stuff?
Yeah, we want to have memberships. We want to pay for this, please.
Yeah, gotta pay for the show, and then with it, we're still working out the perks. But we want to do like watch parties because like some of the stuff we watch and we come on and talk about, we thought it'd be fun to like
watch it ahead of time.
Actually watch it, and everybody can be in the chat.
There'll be a private Discord room, and you join the room, and then you watch with us, and it'll be a laugh riot.
That's right.
Okay.
So stay tuned for more info on that. And let us know if you have ideas for movies you want us to cover. This has been Jaws, 50th year anniversary. And episode 73. Vin, thanks for joining me on this lovely episode.
No, hey, thank you for joining me on this episode.
Swing you later.
Swing you later.
Bye, guys.
Bye.